right. Okay, wasn't sure. Somebody was trying to get in. Let me admit that. Okay, perfect. Okay, we have a new contributor joining. Let's give a minute to welcome him. I believe Anoop, can you say hi to the team? And sorry, I'm going to ask you to repeat what you just mentioning about what you're interested in contributing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, hey everyone, I'm Anoop. So, I really love Agent Gateway project, and I think I already talked with John. So that I'm working on that particular feature of adding Okta authentication support to MCP. So that's what I have been working on right now, and also I think I filed. I saw some of the improvement in the documentation. So for that also I've raised an issue, but I need to work on the PR. Yeah, so looking for support from all of you. That's it. Yeah, thank you once again.
Awesome. Welcome.
Sorry, what
Yeah.
specific authentication in Okta, like that we don't have today? What is the thing that is
Uh,
missing today?
I think the basic Okta authentication is also missing as of now. So the goal is to add those endpoints so that I think key clock and the auth 0 is supported. So Okta would be similar to as auth 0.
Yeah,
I
one
think
thing
John
just
can
to
add.
maybe to expand. So we don't need support for every single possible IDP in the proxy because we can support generic ones, but we do, for many of them, have gaps in what they support in terms of all the RFCs. Like MCP is like requiring these IDPs to be like on the bleeding edge, you know? And so that's why we have like Keycloak, we do like some mappings, Auth0, we do some mappings. I don't know what we need for Okta. Hopefully you know, or we'll find out. But the goal is not that we have like, 1,000 IDPs there. We only really want ones that are the popular ones that need workarounds. Otherwise, they can just use generic support. So
Yeah, got it. I think it would be similar as auth 0 for Okta as well. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome, Anoop. I actually see some other new names here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nathan, I think we haven't seen you in the Agent Gateway community meeting before. Welcome.
Yeah, this is my first time jumping on here, just seeing where people are running with it, and I've been running Agent Gateway for some local stuff. So yeah, just listening in. Yeah.
That's awesome. Welcome. And do we have another new person? Adrian, have we seen you before? All right, maybe you're a little bit shy, so we won't welcome you then. We would appreciate the opportunity to welcome you if you're up to that. All right, first time here. Thank you for joining. Yeah, feel free to say hi when you feel comfortable. All right, so the next topic I think on the agenda is a demo of future roadmap item during this meeting. This is actually a great topic. I don't know who added that. Can somebody, sorry,
I did that.
Okay, perfect. Let me admit somebody trying to come in. Okay, thank you. That's a great question. Honestly, I've been kind of starting some conversation on this. I don't know. I don't think we have the perfect roadmap, but one thing as a community we did is recently we actually submitted an application for Agent Gateway, hopefully to be accepted by AAF Foundation. So we submitted a project proposal to AAAF, and as part of the project proposal, which I'm going to find a link here right now as I'm speaking, as part of the project proposal, we had to kind of put a couple of roadmap items in there. I don't think what we have there is perfect because the idea is kind of iterate the roadmap fast based on feedback from our users in the community. But I can share with you what we put in there as a starting point. I mean, it's nothing perfect, but we need something for the project submission. So we went ahead and created something as part of that issue. So I'm going to put it in here.
So Lynn, the project's already on their on the Linux Foundation. Is that switching the foundation or something with the project?
This is a great question. Yes, right now the project is hosted in the Linux Foundation. We do think the AAIF Foundation is a better match, if you all agree. And this is also why we decide. And also AAF, I don't know if you all follow the AAF closely. They've been kind of established governance and bootstrap the foundation. Now they're at the phase that they welcome new projects to come into the AAF Foundation. They do set the bar pretty high to be accepted. So we're working as hard as we can, hopefully to be accepted, but they somehow made the decision they're not going to have a sandbox level in AAF. So whenever you are accepted, the level they have, the lowest level they have is incubation, matching to CNCF maturity level. So to answer your question, hopefully.
Okay, so they have incubation and graduated, right?
That's my understanding, yes.
Great. Yeah, it's still, just for clarify, it's still in the Linux Foundation. Like the project is part, like Linux Foundation is a big entity, right? And CNCF is under it, and now AI Foundation is under it. So it's just
That's
placing
right.
it under the foundation, which is AI Foundation, which sits under Linux Foundation. But at the end of the day, bubbles up to Linux Foundation.
That's right, exactly. So it's the same, it's owned by the same foundation. We just felt AAF is a better home, yeah. All right, good question on that. Does somebody wants to weigh in on the roadmap a little bit more?
Remind me again, where's the roadmap? Is that managed through a GitHub project?
I don't think we do a very good job on this. Marcus or John, do you want to weigh in?
We at one point we have a project.
There's
but
a
I don't know that
project.
we've maintained it well.
Found it.
necessarily.
Yeah,
I mean, we
so
curate the
project
issues
one.
well, but tracking them at a higher level in project, I don't think we do a great job of that.
Yeah, I tried creating a milestone for things that we want to pick up for the next release. So if people if you tag me and ask to add like specific issue to the milestone, we can try to start doing that. So at least people have a sense of what's coming in the next release.
So there's a project, and then milestone for humans is the agent gateway issues, and under issues there's milestone, right? Milestone, just got
I think Marcus sent it, yeah.
120.
Mhm.
And 080 as done should be close. See 120 and 080.
Oh, the other milestones? Yes, yeah, we should close them. I think Marcus sent the milestone like /3 will be like the 1.20 milestone.
So you folks think that you may have a cadence, like, I don't know, every month or every 2 months, and put a number?
Yeah, so far we have been aiming for roughly 3 weeks, but not like, go mark it on your calendar every 3 weeks. We're gonna
no. But you can start, you can create 130, right? And usually like things that don't fit in 120, they start bubbling. It's like, no, not for this one, for the next one. So usually two milestones is a good aim. And put a rough estimate so people know, like, I don't know, May, and another one June.
Yeah,
or
that's a
June or
good call out.
July.
But we can create a 1.3 milestone as well. We can, if people are interested, we can have a tentative release date on the calendar. But I don't think we should say that this is the release date we're releasing no
Like
matter what.
all open source projects do that. Like I don't think there's nothing to worry. Like be held to that or like moving the date over and over until it gets done. But it's rough estimates, right? Let me pick. I'll put that in the links. Milestone.
Yeah, we're not going to be held accountable for not deliver on the date, but I think a rough milestone and items in the milestone would be very helpful for the project, and also helping with the general of the project in getting into AAF.
Yeah, it gives you the sense of like of scheduling things. Like you say, if 120 is going to be in it, you're getting closer to close it down, right? You can say move it to the next one. But if it doesn't have a date, 120 could be end of the year, so people keep putting things in there, right?
Yeah,
It's a psychological thing there, and then like
I think we can have a task to create like a tentative release date on the calendar for the milestones. Like
Yeah.
as long as people are okay with it not actually like yeah.
Yeah, I think tentative would be sufficient. They people know how open source works. So yeah, so yeah.
and right now it's route delegation support, double policy merging in MCP path, and MCP authorization does not merge properly.
I think this is pretty rough. I just saw like what people are actively working on. If as people have other features they'd like to add, like feel free to tag us and we can triage them.
That's great. So maybe when the roadmap gets to a stage that's reasonable to mention it here, as we have more item filled in, we could dedicate some meeting time just to share that with the group here. Because right now it's probably not very interesting to share with only a few items.
One got released last week.
I think we release every week. I just learned that.
And we also
really?
We have a nightly pipeline as well. So if you're itching to try a new feature, you can use the nightly release.
Yeah, I did a calculation as part of apply the project to be governed by AAF. So the Agent Gateway project has been around for roughly about a year, right? And if you look at the tags, how many we have, it's like 87 tags. We only have 52 weeks per year. So that means we release weekly on average.
Yeah, but that's because at the beginning of the project, Aton was tagging every commit.
Okay.
It was like version 0.4.27, 28, 29. It's like 5 a day. But yes, we do release frequently, obviously. Yeah.
Some of them are like RCs and beta, not full release.
That's fair, yeah. But still, there's a lot of release compared to many other open source projects out there. All right. Does anybody? I think it would be this topic quite a lot. Does anybody have other topics they want to bring up? For next week, I invited Shane to join us because they recently published a blog on how we are using Agent Gateway to control and have visibility of the costs of consuming a large language model within Solo. So I thought that might be interesting for other people as well. Carlos, you went to MCP Dev Summit recently, right? Is there anything interesting in the AI gateway, agent gateway space that might be interesting sharing?
Yeah, the videos are coming out. So if you're in this space, I suggest, and if you're like a video learner person, that the talks are coming out. One that was interesting around MCP tool. I forgot the name of the talk, but it was the MCP tool of discovery, of having not all like based on demand. Like you will start with an MCP that will give you one tool that it says find tools, only has one tool back. And they were able, this was a company that did the talk and they implemented internally, was a discovery. So the agent would use that find tool, and it would, instead of it would put like a category operations. They did it with learning marathons or something, like calculating results or operations, and then it comes back with a protocol of notification that the tools are ready. And then you will get a list of tools related to that category. So the MCP server will have to have some state of like session agent to mapping an operation. So the next time the agent does a clean list tools, it will get the operations tools. And that way, if there's 1,000 tools on that MCP server, you don't get all of them. You get categorized. So it's a way of discovering progressive disclosure. I think it was the talk. So I don't know if that's something that can be implemented with Agent Gateway or support, because they're using MCP protocol for that. I can look it up. I don't know if there's any thoughts around discovery, this problem of discovery. And the channel is, I think it's AI engineer, or
Maybe this one?
agentic. Oh, now it's under
AWS?
solutions. Yeah,
Is
this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put it in here so we can, if anybody interested, can watch the recording. And it's from your coworker. Both of them. Okay.
Yeah. I don't work with Amazon Video, but yeah. Yeah, and the videos are coming out recently. Like this one was posted 17 hours ago. That's why I remember, because I got a notification on it. And I think there's other, like AWS has an MCP gateway that has like a discovery, also like semantic search, right? It's not static like they show, but it's a semantic search. So I don't know, John or others have thoughts about how to deal with the context, reducing the context, and like all these tools in the MCP protocol. Or if the MCP protocol is like thinking about putting something in the protocol, like formally on this. I think they're just hacking around using the tool, happen to be one of the tools to discover the other tools.
Interesting. Anyone wants to weigh in on that?
That's interesting. Thanks for sharing. I'll take a look at this.
So in Agent Gateway, tagging a tool, right now it's like by static cell or authentication, or you don't have access to the tools, you don't get it back, right? But there could be something that you tag with a category or something, or like based on these tags, you return these tools in the Agent Gateway, or have a hook to call something and then come back with the tools that are allowed, not allowed, like send the list of tools, send the user request, and then trusting that LLM call or agent call comes back with the list of allow or best tools or allowed tools. and then send that back to the agent.
That's interesting. I almost think we had some tool searching capability. Maybe it's in one of our other open source project, Agent Registry. I remember people talking about it, but I haven't personally tried it myself. That allows you to do like searching of the capability of the tools in the registry. But I think what you're talking about is more discover on the gateway side.
Yeah, or it could be, I don't know. The last example, I'm just thinking out loud. Like that example is similar to the external auth, right? It's just an API you call out, and that's external auth deals with it, and then you come back and then you present it. So
yeah, that's definitely something we've been looking into. That external auth mode where you basically send the MCP to the auth server, and then they send the result back, so they could do any custom things they wanted, including that. But you know, sky's the limit, kind of.
So you're saying that could be leveraged to filter down the list of tools?
I mean,
don't send the whole
I mean, if you send the whole body, like
Yeah.
the API is going to be send the whole body and get the whole body back. So in theory, you can do absolutely anything you want, right? But it's
but the
not a
tools that are
first-class thing.
configuring the tools that are configuring the agent gateway are sent today, or you're saying
Well, none of this exists at all right now. It's in the design phase. So
okay?
yeah, we'll have to see. I think it could be used to implement this if you wanted to, maybe. But I'd have to, yeah, we'll have to see maybe when it's more concrete.
Yeah,
I'll post a link on the,
maybe the separator. Yeah, I think maybe that's the approach of like taking it with the external auth, right? More advanced external auth filtering or use cases, right? Versus like creating something specific for MCP. I think all the keynotes are, I thought they were out.
Yeah, I've been watching the day one keynote. I don't know if day two is out. So yeah.
Oh, they were under. There's 2 live events in the YouTube channel. That's it. That's why the talks are in the live stream. I think maybe they're cutting them up into videos. But there's one that is 8 hours, another one that is 9 hours. So the live stream of day 1 and day 2 are there. People want to watch. But it looks like they're like chopping them out into proper talks. So
They should, yeah. 'Cause
yeah, I think this one that I mentioned is the first one.
Yeah, I know they chopped David's talk out, but yeah, I've been watching this one, the day one.
Okay, the talks are in there. Just need to look through them. But it looks like hopefully they would chop them up out, put them in the main YouTube channel.
Yeah, awesome. I guess we're almost to time. Anyone else wants to bring up something quick, or should we just wrap it up?
You mentioned the registry. Is there documentation in the agent gateway for the registry and integrations in the agent gateway with the registry, or maybe plans for integration?
I'm not sure. Does anybody else know? I don't remember seeing documentation in agent gateway for the registry.
Because it's like 2 complementary projects, right? As you put all the MCPs in the registry, you have to copy paste them, put them in the agent gateway, and keep them in sync.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, I have to check if we have any docs or blogs on how these two can work with each other, but I do expect that's what we want people to do, right? Because they are not isolated But the reason, by the way, the reason there are two projects, which are actually challenging about this a while back. Why are we not having them as one project? The reason is people may have their preferred gateway or preferred registry, and we want to be able to build the building blocks for people to pick and choose, but that opens up wealth of integration story, right? All right, given we are right on time, I think we are going to wrap this up. But Carlos, I will take a note and look into what you said, see if we have any artifact for that.
Cool.
Thanks everybody for joining, and for our new contributors, welcome. Hopefully to see you next week as well, or in GitHub. Thanks everybody, bye.